Hi, and welcome to my book talk. I am going to be talking about the book Orbiting Jupiter by Gary D. Schmidt. This book was published in 2015 and has about 183 pages in it. Gary Schmidt is a professor at Calvin University as well as a young adult fiction author and children's literature author. This book is one that I have read in my gifted 8th grade classroom for the past couple of years. We started off because this book was highly recommended by several other language arts teachers. And I did this thing in my classroom called Chapter Fridays, where I pick a book, the students choose which chapter they want me to read, I read it to them, and then they decide if we should read it as a class novel or if it's a book that they just want to check out on their own. This book unanimously was one they wanted to read as a class novel. This book will pull on your heartstrings. It'll have you in tears, and I'm not usually an emotional reader, but this book had me crying. This book follows the journey of 14-year-old Joseph, who is in the foster system. He gets put in a foster home, which is on a farm, and on the farm lives 12-year-old Jack, who becomes his best friend. Now, when Joseph gets to the farm, they only know 3 things about him. They know he tried to kill a teacher. He has been in juvie. And he has a daughter. Now, he's only 14, and he has a daughter. So, he is on a mission to find his daughter named Jupiter. He's only seen her one time, and that was just through a picture. Now, Joseph goes through many obstacles throughout this book. He gets put in predicament after predicament after predicament with teachers, the school bus driver, other students, and typically Jack is right behind him because Jack sees the good in him and wants to be there with him and wants to show everybody else that he's not such a bad guy. Just because he did a bad thing or got put in a bad situation doesn't necessarily make him bad. Jack sees it and wants others to see it too. There's many different ways that you can look at this book. It's a story of a young boy who really lost the first person he's ever loved. It's a story about a young boy that's searching for his purpose. It's about a boy overcoming great obstacles and becoming a greater person. It's about finding the best in people no matter what their background is. According to the author, Gary Schmidt, he says that the message of this book could really be about the power of love and its ability to reach across everybody. Now, the scene I'm going to read is where Joseph is with his foster family at a church for Christmas Eve. And this is where we really see the struggle that Joseph is having. It says, "When the service was over and we had finished Joy to the World, Joseph handed me the hymnal and I put it in the rack and followed my mother and father out into the aisle. But Joseph didn't leave the pew with us. He was staring at the manger, past the red plaster Joseph and the blue plaster Mary and the mostly naked child in the hay. We waited for him while the church emptied out. We were just about the last ones to leave. Reverend Ballou took Joseph's hand to shake it, and Joseph said, 'How much of that story is true?' Reverend Ballou considered this. 'I think it all has to be true, or none of it,' he said. 'The angels?' said Joseph. 'Really?' 'Why not?' said Reverend Ballou. 'Because bad things happen,' said Joseph. 'If they were angels, then bad things wouldn't happen.' 'Maybe angels aren't always meant to stop bad things. So what good are they?' 'To be with us when bad things happen.' Joseph looked at him. 'Then where the hell were they?' he said. I thought Reverend Ballou was going to start bawling. And that was the end of our Christmas Eve service at New First Congregational. This is where we really start seeing Joseph struggle to try to understand why he isn't able to see Jupiter and why things have happened the way they have in his life. I highly suggest this book. It's a great read for upper middle school, lower high school, but it's also a great read for adults. Anyways, I hope you enjoy.